Hi, Bo from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel, where in today's video we're going to talk about the signal service that EXPERT4X is setting up, basically copy trading. And obviously we also want to be in on this. We want to report on it. Today we're going to have a look at some of all the signals that are already available on the EXPERT4X homepage. We're going to go through some of them here. We're going to have a look, see how reliable these signals are. Is this something that we actually wanted also to be in on and copy trade? And we're going to give you also a few hints on where to go and look to see if the signals are actually as good as they pretend they are. So there is quite a few holes here and there. We had a closer look at the signals and was quite surprised to see some of these have made it all the way through the EXPERT4X sort of individual test. Some of them are very young signals, and obviously the ones that can do this over longer periods of time and maybe with a smaller percentage is the ones that you want to aim at. But then that being said, we are not a financial advisor, we are not a trading expert. This is only our opinion, and also our opinion based on especially the profit retriever, what we've seen, how we work with this one since mid-March. And that's what it's all about today, trying to understand the signals and what is a reasonable profit without blowing your accounts. So by all means, let's get started. And the first place we're going to go here is to the EXPERT4X page, which is actually open to everybody right now. Later on, you will have to be a premium member, so for the expert forum. But right now you can go in, you can see what kind of signals is there, so you can determine if you want to become a member in the future. We'll make sure that all the links are in the description below. And let's get started and see what exactly are the signals that you want to have, and especially which ones are the ones you want to avoid. So here's the list from EXPERT4X, and what we try and do is obviously have a look at the top ones here, because those are quite interesting. We can see the first one, the link 25, total gains 148. This already is a flag here, 11 days only of profits, monthly gains 405. So again, this is obviously a calculation because we haven't even done a month yet. Starting capital 10,000. Recent equity is 24,841. And then gains on drawdown seems to be quite high, 3,343. And the worst drawdown is 444. Again, main currency is the NASDAQ 100. Profit retriever is used here. Leverage is 200 to 1 on the IG demo account, which a lot of people use because you can open up as many as you want. So let's have a look at it. Already here, it looks okay from the numbers, but the one that stands out here is the days that this signal has been traded. And obviously this has not been updated, so since it came on, we can have a look at it here. It says, oh no, it is updated 11 days. And it looks very nice with the graph. What we don't like is that for every single trade I see here, there's a major jump up. So this is quite substantial gains in a very short period of time. And monthly returns at the moment is set to more than 1,000%. So definitely this is not something for us. Weekly returns 78%. Obviously these are quite nice numbers, but at the end of the day already here these numbers stand out big time for us. First part you can go in is actually have a look at the risk currently, and you will see here that that is not something you want to see. So size of loss 10% probability, and already here a lot of red flags, chance of 100% loss 7.9%. And that is obviously heavy and definitely not a signal that anybody should be trading. So other than on a demo account, which is it also is here, and that is obviously why you can do this. But put this up for signal service is not something that you should do. We can have a quick look in the orders here. And that also shows quite an interesting thing. Let's just go back for a sec. Have a look at the balance and have a look at the equity. Here it says the equity looks very nice all the way through. nothing here, and the same with the floating profit. At the moment here it also says that this is 0. If you look on the other side here, you'll see the floating profit is actually at almost 8,000 in minus. And that might be okay if you have a balance, as this particular person has now, of 25,000. But if you're just adding yourself to this particular link service and you end up in this drawdown that the trader has at the moment, that basically wipes out your account. So and that is definitely not a good way to start. So a huge drawdown. We can see it by the order in here also, saying that originally here he has set it at 0.12 lot, so which is actually not too much. But then again, this is a Nasdaq 100, and you cannot always take these indexes in the similar manner as you do with other cryptocurrencies. It's a bit similar also for gold and silver, so that even though it looks like small lot sizing, it is actually a lot bigger. And as you can also see, just with the 0.12 lot, he's actually all down for that particular just one trade is 3,500 almost. So definitely not a good point. The only thing that he was buying, everything has been dropping, and it's only the last one here that is providing a bit of profit at the moment. Obviously that is not much. We can see that it's also reducing one, similar to what we are trading here. So we're starting high and then going low, and he goes low quite quickly here, and then obviously it stays at the minimum 0.01, and then hopefully that trend will turn. But with that major drawdown here at the time, it's definitely a make or break account, so certainly not something that we will recommend. Let's have a look at the next one. This is Link 07 and has a good gain, 153%. Days is 29, still very short period of time. So when we're talking about trading, monthly gains, again, very high. Starting capital is only 1,000 here. So that is can be a cent account that can be set up, or you start off with 1,000. Recent equity, so it's gone up quite well, as you can see, 2,500. Gains on drawdown, looks okay. Worst drawdown here is 696, and that is actually quite a big flag, because if you're starting off with an account of just 1,000 and you basically are down 700, that's basically 70%. So 70% drawdown is close to getting your account wiped out. Obviously not the way you want to go. British pounds USD is a very volatile currency here. And we can see that this is the trend trader, which we have also tried out, and that works at some given stages, and then all of a sudden it doesn't work so well. So stability over time is a bit of a problem with it. But let's have a look. When we go in here, we can see there's a good balance. Equity is up, but there's a huge floating profit, which is currently in there, which is a bit strange, especially for the trend trader here. So because you are normally supposed to do this as a day trading tool, and in order to have a floating profit like this, that means it's the continuous mode that it's running in, and that one we have certainly also tried, and it's not a recommended one. So let's have a look and see the balance. The curve here looks quite good. The equity is here, and this is exactly what we have also seen. When it runs, it looks very nice in the beginning, and then basically the gap here in between the balance and the equity is getting bigger and bigger. And that is exactly what we've seen on a continuous basis, and it's just getting worse and worse, as you can see. The floating profit is down by 1,788, and if you remember, we were just talking about the account itself, and that was at $1,000. Now you have a minus on the floating profit of 1,788. You have basically blown your account twice. So obviously not a good one either, even though this one here says the probability of loss is 10%, and definitely we think it's a lot more. So it's not one that we want to work with either, as it's gone wrong very quickly, even though the history is 32 days. That is definitely a no-go here too. So let's try the link 02. If we just mark that one up, it says total gains 90%, days period 20. Again, it's way too short, so you definitely need to have a signal link that has been trading a couple of months to make sure that it is more stable and it has gone through the different phases of trending currencies, and that is where it comes in. So the danger here with the profit retriever, which this one here is too, is the trending part. So because if you're on the right side or the wrong side of the trend here, you can have a huge drawdown very, very quickly. Monthly gains 135. Again, it's too much for our liking. So already here we see some red flags. It says worst drawdown. We will go and have a look at that, of course. Profit retriever, and again it's on an IT account, so let's have a look at that and see how that plays out. This one here looks a bit different. History 109 days, okay, and then it looked like this account was set up for a short period of time without any trading, and then we just have a little bit of trading in here. Floating profits, as this one here says, okay, it looks fairly okay. But even though it's 109 days, yeah, there's no trading on it. So obviously that's not good. So have a look at the equity here. So that looks reasonable. Floating profits, also reasonable. Let's have a look at the risk settings. Now that also looks good. So that is definitely the area where you want to be at. So again, given the fact here that this is a very young account, and now I have a feeling that something is up here, and yeah, there you go again. You go in with the FTSE here, and you can have a look at, well, you can have a look at the closed orders also, see how the set is up, and obviously the lot size is quite heavy, 1.2. Again, it's way beyond what we are trading with anything that we have here. So it's obviously nice because it provides some quick profits, so over a short period of time. But if you end up in a drawdown, so later on, then obviously that could become an issue. So be careful and be sure that you have a closer look at the lot sizes. So far, this has been reasonably okay, but apart from the lot sizing itself. So moving down the line and having a look at the next one, this is link 05. Also, again, tells us here 470% gains, quite a lot. So finally, we got a decent account here, 103 days. So now we are actually looking at some real trading results that we can trust a bit more. Monthly gains 121%. Again, this is way too high, so for our liking. Recent equity is definitely not bad, 51,000. So after 103 days, starting off with 10,000. So gain on drawdowns 600%. Yes, it looks good. Worst drawdown already here. It's a big flag, so 6,900. British pounds USD, this is one of the very volatile currency pairs that you have here, so you got to be very, very careful to try and maintain this. But already here, without going into the account, we can see that almost 7,000 in drawdown. You have to remember that if you are a signal provider, so you can't just have a look and saying, okay, the 7,000, it's not really a problem for me because I have 51,000 sitting in my account. You have to consider also the people that are trading. They are coming in expecting that you are trading as you have a $10,000 account. So that would mean that your drawdown in this particular case, if you're unlucky and get this when you start off your account, will be almost 70%. So huge hit. And obviously, again, the first thing we see when we come in here is we see some very on regular trading. It goes from 22 and it jumps up to 40. So, and then again, it looks like more drawdown here, and then it seems to be doing okay. Total return 445%, monthly return 60. First place we'll go with something like this is definitely back to the risk, and there you go, 78% chance of losing 10%, and have a look at this, 100%, there's 8.6% chance of that. Definitely not a signal that you want to trade on. Yeah, so these are very, very dangerous. It looks good, but this can definitely be blown. Maybe not with 54 so on the account, but if you are coming in and copying this particular signal, so expecting the owner of this signal to understand that you're coming in with 10, and this will be blown very, very quickly. So let's have a closer look and see the equity behind it here. So this is obviously a very nice curve. It's on top, and then you have a few at the bottom. And what we have to go in and have a look at here is, again, the top ones here. That is the floating profit, 6,920. And you have another one almost as high at 6,500. Obviously this is quite okay, so if you are trading for yourself, but if you go in and do this with copy trading, people are going to run away from you very, very quickly. So let's see what size we have here, and that is also quite a heavy size that is being used. If we just have a look, see at the closed orders also, we can see that they are running same system as we have here. So starting off with 0.6, and then it'll just reduce and reduce all the way through. So that part of the strategy is definitely okay, but the lot size is again too high, and that's why you have some major drawdowns, and it looks like at the moment it's in another drawdown. So another a bit shaky one where it definitely needs to make some adjustments to it. So let's go and have a look at the link 15 here, see how that pans out. So we're talking about the main currency here is the US 30, which we have also traded. Total gains 39%, so that looks a bit more okay. Again, 23 days, so very short. Monthly gains 51, a bit on the high side, but definitely a possibility. Starting capital 10, 14,000 almost, and then worst drawdown, it doesn't look so bad, so maybe this one is okay. Let's have a quick look and see what it says. Already here again, looks like there is hardly any trades going on, so that's small. We have a floating minus of 526 at the moment on this particular account. And what does the equity say? That looks like this could work out okay. And the risk that you have in here, that doesn't look very good again, so definitely way too high. If you have anything apart from in the 10% loss section, then it's definitely too high and you need to make some adjustments to it. This is not okay, and obviously again average trades. If we go and have a look at the orders we have in here, we can see there's one order, so the lot size at the moment is 0.2 for the US 30. I believe this is twice as high as what we are trading with at the moment. And if we have a look at all the closed orders, we can see there's actually, it's just using very few. So in all the time that it has been trading here, there's actually only 3 trades coming in, and 3 trades over a period of 23 days. You can't really evaluate this signal. So, but again, we also believe that the lot size is too big for this particular account. The next one in line we're going to try and test out here is link 10. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is number 6. Total gains 38%. Again, 25 days, very, very short periods we have here. 46%, 10,000 recent equity, so made a couple of thousand, good. British pounds, Japanese is also one that is not too bad at all, also quite volatile. Let's have a look at this one. Already here it looks a bit better, so it's got a bit more of a flat curve. We can see that the profit has come in fairly quickly, so that again means a high lot size, most probably We can see here the equity. There is a couple of drawdowns along the way. This is quite normal for the profit retriever. We have seen that they have actually come back several times in here and been a bit worse and worse. So obviously it's gone the wrong way, and floating profit is 1,500. With a 10,000 account, it's 15%. So obviously it's not the end of the world here. Let's have a look at the risk. So far, FX Blue thinks that there's no risk in here, so which is quite good. But we still think this is a bit high. And if we have a look at the orders, okay, yeah, there we go. We can see it's 0.6. Anything that we do, so with the different normal currencies, British pounds, Japanese, US dollars, so on and so on, for the $10,000 accounts, we do not go above 0.4. It's simply too risky, that we believe. Yes, there's obviously a lot more profit to be had, but also the drawdowns will come. This is a very young account again with 28 days. So they might not have seen the worst yet, and obviously only when you have done this for a couple of months, you will have a better picture of what is actually happening with this one. So this is not too bad, but the lot size is a bit too high for our liking. So let's continue to link 17C. This particular one, it's silver that is in here. This is actually one of our accounts, so let's see how that one is doing. Total gains 197%, period 132 days, so obviously a lot more data here. Monthly gains is 45. Silver has been producing quite good results, definitely. Starting capital 10. Recent equity is 29,700, and gain on drawdown 444%. So good numbers. Here drawdown is 4,400, so basically 44%. And obviously again bit high, but profit retriever is very difficult to keep it below here. So let's have a look at the signal, see how that comes out. We can see it looks like a good flat curve, but as you can see, there's some good gains, and then looks like a drawdown here, and some good gains, and another drawdown, and it just came out of that one recently. So let's go and have a look and see what the equity looks like. Not too bad. We can't really see much from that one, and we can't see much from that one either. So let's have a look and see on the risk side how that looks. Yeah, 10% loss is 0.5%, which is definitely acceptable. So as long as you can keep it preferably under 5%, that is good. So reasonable, stable. And if we go back and have a look at the orders that are in here, we can then see that the last sale order is 0.18. We have actually made some adjustments here and taken the lot size slightly down. And if we have a look at the closed orders, you'll see that it used to be 0.2. So now this has been taken slightly down just to reduce the risk a bit more. And overall is again monthly returns 24.1%, even though it has had two major drawdowns here of about 40. So all in all, trades per day 1.7, not too bad, and definitely this is over a long period of time that you can now start to trust this a bit more. So this is how many? So that's actually 5 months almost that this has been traded, and it has done quite well. So the last one I want to share with you here today is the Link 24, and obviously this has 76 days, so that looks quite reasonable. 106% over that time, so not too bad. Monthly gains 42, and this is something that looks reasonable. Okay, 20,000, 91% gain on drawdown, so obviously that is not so good. Worst drawdown is 8,800, basically blown the account from what I can see here. Let's see if that has been changed. So maybe it's done some changes to the settings here. So the graph doesn't look too bad. It's running quite well. And if we go into the equity side, whoa, yes, we can see there's a big one there. equity down by 7,600. And if we look at the floating profit at that particular time, it looked okay, and then we had a massive one, and floating profit is actually over 11,700. So if you would have been in as a trader only with 10, it would have been blown and you would have been out of it. So definitely he seems to manage, because there's more than 20,000 in here. So obviously that is lucky for the personal trader here. The risk, I'm quite stunned to see that this is within the 5%, as we just talked about before. Definitely I would say that the risk is a lot higher. So let's have a look and see how the trader is doing with the orders. And yeah, definitely we can see that this is way beyond what you need. A lot size of 1.4 is way too heavy for our liking. So definitely, yeah, starting off with 1.4. So, and then it goes down, and then it looks like it's, well, where do we have it? 1.4, yeah. There's quite a few of them here. Yeah, that is definitely a bit too heavy for our liking. And right now it seems to be in a small drawdown. So these are some of the things that definitely you need to have a look at. Again, we only have 27 days of data, and within 27 days, and you have that kind of floating profit here, that is obviously a huge concern for another signal like this. So now we've gone through the top part of the new signals for the signal trading. We can definitely see that you have to be very cautious. You have to be very careful of what you're selecting. We have tried to give you a couple of tools here to show you exactly what to be on the lookout for, and also make sure that you get your lot sizing set up correctly. Otherwise, if the trader is going with some of the lot sizes we saw here, there's a huge chance that even though the numbers are looking quite nice right now, over long periods of time, that would mean that the account will blow. Maybe not for the trader itself, because if he has gathered enough equity on the account itself, and now trading with 20, 30, or even 50,000, as we saw in here on someone, the people that are coming in with 10, there's a huge risk so that your account will be blown, and that is obviously not a very good thing, especially if you are looking for long-term signal providers. So be please careful when you have a look and review of some of all these signals here. So we are constantly trying to improve ours also, and we're still learning, even though we have now been in this for more than 4 months. With a lot of the different signals, but this is quite important, urgent, and as we said, this is still not up fully and running yet. We will have to wait until Alex is coming back again, and hopefully by September we will see the first parts being linked up and hooked up. And in the meantime, I hope I can do another video similar to these on some of the next signals that are coming in, and we might also jump a bit further down to have a look at some of the ones that are not making so much profit, because most probably these are a bit more safe many times, even though they only produce somewhere between 10 and 25%. Over time, they will definitely provide you more money than you have one that provides you with 200% in the first month, and the next month the account is basically blown. So please be careful and have a look when you go through the different links in there to make sure that you are comfortable with trading similar manners as this copy trading part. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I expect to see you on the next one. Bye bye.